Think of the fact that you might be making history in this moment. And I'm not talking about history of a female president. I'm talking about history saying we are going to finally right the ship in America.
I'm not going to tell you the American dream is alive and well right now. It's not. It's alive and hanging on for life support, but it can be. And I'm asking you all to do your part on Monday night.
I'm the only one running who's actually beaten the Democrats and the left on issue after issue. And I'm sick of these Republicans. I mean, in Washington, the Democrats beat us on the budget almost every time. They're now beating us on immigration with this deal that they're doing in the Senate.
You're going to be first in the nation. So brave the weather and go out and save America, because that's what you're doing. This is really about saving our country.
2024 GOP candidates making their final arguments to Iowa voters this weekend before heading to the polls today. Former President Trump picking up some major endorsements yesterday. North Dakota Governor and former 2024 hopeful Doug Burgum now backing Trump, along with Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Meanwhile, Nikki Haley picking up an endorsement from former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan. Joining me now is Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, who was out campaigning with Haley yesterday in Ames, Iowa. So, Senator, good morning. And does this mean that you're backing Nikki Haley tonight?
Well, good morning, Cheryl, and thanks so much. I'm camped out here in Des Moines, Iowa, getting ready for the caucuses. I was with Nikki Haley yesterday, earlier in the day, but I joined Ron DeSantis in the evening as well. So here in Iowa, I am neutral. I'm welcoming in all of these candidates. I feel it's really important to allow the Iowa voters the opportunity to make their choice in the caucuses. So I'll return home to Montgomery County this evening, where I will go to my own caucus. But Iowans turn out. The cold will not slow us down. There are no snow days on caucus day.
Well, I was going to say, I'm wondering, we are all wondering really about the weather and if that's going to affect voter turnout at all, especially with those older voters that might be concerned about the roads, concerned about the temperatures, because, you know, you've got to be at the door by 7. You got to be there. This is a calendar and a timing issue tonight. What are your expectations? Are you worried at all about this?
Oh, Cheryl, I know the cold weather will slow some folks down maybe, but that's why we do the caucuses, and it's all about our communities. So my mom lives a few blocks away from me. I'll go pick her up on the way down to caucus at our caucus location. So I would encourage all of our Iowa Republican voters, get out there, grab your neighbors, make sure you're carpooling, get out there safely. Just bundle up, go to the caucuses. I'd say get out there early, go by 6:30 so you're checked in by 7. The doors do close at 7. But we want so many folks to go out and engage. We've got so much talent being displayed on the stage here in Iowa. So we want to make sure we maintain that first in the nation caucus state of Iowa. So come on, folks, don't let the weather deter you.
How many people do you think are still undecided right now and are going to make up their minds tonight?
I think there are very few folks that have not made up their mind yet. We've had a full swing of presidential candidates coming through. Most of them did attend my roast and ride earlier last year. They came out, started working with different voter groups. And so there are a lot of folks. They are solidly in one camp or another. But there's going to be a handful of folks. They can go out to the caucuses tonight. They'll hear from surrogates from the candidates, and they will make up their mind maybe in the last minutes of the day. But again, I think the vast majority of Iowans have already made their decision in this caucus.
Okay. All right. Well, we do know that issues like the economy, the border, Ukraine, those are all things that you know, Fox News has been on the ground for days, you know, interviewing these folks and finding out what they care about. The other issue, and this goes back to the economy, is what's happening in Washington and the spending. Broader issue after the caucuses, you're going to have to deal with the potential of a government shutdown. So Chuck Schumer and Mike Johnson officially did reach an agreement on a short-term funding bill. This would avert that partial shutdown, and this keeps the government funded through March. We're already into January. That would only be to March, Senator. Schumer says he's going to put that bill up for a vote tomorrow. Mike Lee, another colleague of yours in the Senate, is threatening a shutdown over that border security issue. He talked to Maria yesterday. I want you to watch what he told her.
When are Senate Republicans going to get serious about the border?
Tell the Biden administration, if you want your administration funded, secure the border or shut it down. The very worst thing we could do right now is give them more money for their priorities.
And House Speaker Johnson did come out against the Senate border deal after the details were leaked online. So where do you stand in all of this? And what do you make, to Maria's question, I guess the same question to you, when are we going to get serious about the border?
Well, I would say this is a top issue for Iowa Republicans. We're hearing this all across the state. Number one, of course, is the economy. Number two is probably those border issues. And Senator James Lankford has been working very, very hard on this issue. And I wish people would actually read what is out there, read what is available. There is a lot of misinformation that's being pushed out. I would remind folks that during the Trump administration, when we had the presidency, the House, and the Senate, we did absolutely nothing on the border. President Trump is the one that had to really come up with executive orders on the border. I think this is an exceptional opportunity to leverage what we have against the Democrats to actually get some substantial changes on the border. So I think, again, we need to take a look at this very carefully. We stand the risk of losing the chance to actually get something done on the border now, because I don't see this opportunity coming up again anytime soon.
But, Senator, does that mean a government shutdown? I mean, this is another risky...
Yeah.
And this is what Johnson's trying to avoid. And you know, we're talking about voters, and they're frustrated because, you know, these short-term fixes is one of the things that we thought was going to be addressed.
Right, exactly. And spending is out of control. We know that. Look at all the billions of dollars pumped into all of these climate initiatives by the Biden government, where nothing comes about. It's just chasing all of these liberal fantasies at the expense of the American taxpayer. So I honestly do hope that we can resolve the border issue, that we can find a path forward with a continuing resolution, but one that works for the American people. Okay. We can't shut the government down. I don't think it benefits anyone, and it actually costs us more to shut the government down.
Before you go, I need you to put your Armed Services Committee hat on for just a moment. A lot happened overseas over the weekend. A U.S. fighter jet did shoot down a Houthi missile that was aimed at one of our warships in the Red Sea. President says he spoke to Iran about these attacks. I want you to watch this because there's some confusion about what he means here. We've delivered it privately, is what President Biden said. What do you make of that, Senator?
Well, I don't know what he meant by that. I'll be honest. I am so confused by this president. He really needs to stand up against Iran, against China, against Russia, North Korea. Look at our adversaries. They look at us. They see very little direction coming from the White House. We see this even with the hospitalization of our Secretary of Defense. The Secretary of Defense obviously didn't trust the White House enough to notify him he was going into the hospital. We see the Middle East imploding. It is awful. This is awful, Cheryl.
Yeah, no, but no, he's directing all of these attacks from his hospital bed, apparently. Yeah, that's whole nother topic. Senator Joni Ernst. Yes. Well, listen, we're all eyes are on you and Iowa tonight, and we are looking forward to hearing what happens. Thank you, Senator.